Welcome. This is Grassroots Rising, Chapter 10, Episode 1, and I'm your host, Jimmy Skogard. Well, it's April in Wyoming. Guess what? The wind still cuts across the parking lot. The mornings still carry that edge of cold. But spring is stepping forward, and with it comes a narrow opening, a chance to move with purpose before the next deadline closes in. April is our purple window. Purple holds a special place in the world around us. Our eyes receive red and blue at the same time, and the mind brings them together as purple. It's a bridge built inside perception itself, a way of making sense of two distant parts of the spectrum at once. That is the heart of our purple window. It is the moment we begin to see a fuller shared reality. That is why this month matters. April calls us clearly. It calls us to gather what is true from lived experience, from honest conversation, from shared facts, and from human faces across the table. This is the work of common ground. I often picture a coffee shop in the early morning, boots on the floor, steam rising from the cup, two neighbors sitting across from each other, speaking plainly about family, work, taxes, schools, freedom, and of course the future. One listens, then the other answers. Then both pause long enough to hear something real. That is where the center comes into focus. The center is responsibility. The center is where facts hold their weight. The center is where empathy steadies pride. The center is where proof carries more weight than performance. The center is where we remember that every issue lands in a real home, at a real kitchen table, in a real life. The center is where truth has enough gravity to pull us back toward each other. The pull is real. Most of us have felt it in conversation. A moment arrives when slogans lose their shine. A moment arrives when memorized lines give way to lived experience. A moment arrives when eye contact says more than a screen ever could. In that moment, something deeper begins to work. Human beings start recognizing each other again. And that is where strength begins. Money can buy volume. Money can buy repetition. Money can buy distraction. Yet truth still moves in a different way. Truth moves neighbor to neighbor. Truth gains strength through calm repetition. Truth settles in when people hear it clearly, hear it often, and hear it from voices they trust. Sometimes a truth takes root after one conversation. Sometimes it settles in after several. Sometimes it arrives from 7 different voices before the mind opens fully to it. That is how we learn. That is how arguments grow. So this month, we practice the work. We repeat what is true. We open the conversation again. We meet in the coffee shops, the pubs, the library, our living rooms, the sidewalks, and whatever halls we happen to be in. We listen with care. We speak with clarity. We build strong trust, strong enough to carry action. February taught us to move. March taught us to connect. April teaches us to gather around common ground. April teaches us to gather around common ground and hold it with steady hands. This is our foundation month, a month of building momentum, a month of strength through shared purpose, a month to prove that truth still resides at the center, and that the center still calls us forward. This is our purple window. This is the opening where people who feel politically homeless can still find one another. It's the opening where shared facts can still matter. It's the opening where courage grows through conversation. It's the opening where we discover that unity is a practice. Unity is the steady choice to keep showing up, Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep building. The season is turning. Now it's our turn to do the same. If you felt worn down by the noise, if you watched friends and family drift apart, you know in your gut the truth still has a home at the center. This is your moment to rise. Start one conversation this week. Sit down across from one neighbor. Look each other in the eye. Speak plainly. Listen carefully. Repeat what is true, because agency means the ability to decide our future for ourselves. We still hold that power, but only if we use it. Our children's and our grandchildren's legacy is in our hands now. Please join the movement at skogard2026.org. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.